Hi, folks. Welcome to Follow the Leader, a podcast focused on telling character-driven stories through the use of GM-less tabletop games where we can all take the lead. You can find us on Blue Sky at FTLcast and at FTLcast.com. We also have a Patreon at patreon.com/FTLcast. Today we're playing Going Rogue by Jess Levine. For those of you who are new to this game, here are the basics. Going Rogue is an expansion for Galactic 2E by Riley Brethall. It succeeds where Star Wars fails by asking players to explore class struggles, ideologies, and experiences of the outsiders and marginalized within larger conflict between the Liberation and the Mandate. It encourages players to interrogate what liberation means and the diversity of ways to approach the mystical space between. Inspired by the ethically gray conflicts of Star Wars Rogue One, Going Rogue is built less to tell the stories of charming heroes and more to tell the stories of troubled martyrs. While the story you tell is always up to you, the system is designed to make it easier to explore specific thematic tensions such as, how does cynicism serve as a coping mechanism? When must we counteract it with hope, and how? When do caution, principles, and commitment to democracy constrain our ability to act for liberation? When does our willingness to abandon such ideals undermine that which we're fighting for? And what is worthy of our sacrifice? When is it more important we live to fight another day? I'm August, and you can find me on Tumblr at Strange Harpy and Blue Sky at Harpy Dora. My pronouns are they, them. Playing with me today we have a special guest, Chia.
Hi, I'm Chia. I guess you can find me on the internet at I did this last time too. Fuck. I'm on Blue Sky at Kato, and of course you can find my work and website at remapradio.com.
Hell yeah. We're also joined by Brian.
Hi, it's me. It's Brian. You can find me and my other show, The Room Where It Happened, on the internet at RoomWherePod. Come join the Discord. That's usually the best way to keep up with everything. And by the time you're listening to this, there's a new season of RoomWherePod where we're playing the Land of Eem. Basically, it's like, what if Lord of the Rings was Muppets? You will be joined by somebody else on this call. It's a secret. Not really. But you'll find out soon who will be joining us for this season.
I know that.
But you can find.
I was just gonna say, I know that in text, this doesn't play, but I was really excited to learn about comfy things to wear while in a room on your pod. Sorry.
And much like we keep poaching Danielle and Brian, Brian has also poached Coda.
Hello, it's me, Coda. I also go by Jade. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me most places on the internet at Jade Oxford Rose. And yes, you can hear me having snuck my way into the room where it is happening to be in their current new season. Check it out. I'm playing an exceptional little guy.
Hell yeah. So this game directly engages with fascism. So our typical lines and veils may be subject to change depending on where the story takes us. I will put a list of content warnings here. Content warnings for this game include general malaise of fascism, misogyny, substance use/abuse, themes of coercion and blackmail, anti-droid sentiment, and references to a Disney IP. Now that we've got all that, let's get started.
Hey.
Alright, so the first thing that we need to do, Galactic, 2E, and Going Rogue by extension are belonging outside belonging games, and the first thing that we need to do is create our characters. So we have a document, and we will go in document order, just go over everything up until the questions that we ask up and down, and then we will go back around and ask our questions. All right. I'll be playing the Loyal. The Loyal is a stalwart friend, difficult to win over but unwavering in their allegiance. Their power comes from their tenacity, self-sacrifice, and uncompromising commitment to care for those they are bonded to. I will be playing Sol, uses pronouns she, her. Her look is a scarred face and weary eyes. Her wardrobe styles are rugged but weathered clothing and a heavy blaster. Two qualities that she respects are determination and ruthlessness. One quality that doesn't impress her is optimism. I will skip this particular section here until we've gone through all our characters, actually, because I have a bond with another character and I have to describe that bond. So we'll wait until everybody's introduced before we go through that. And two relationships that I have are my independent ex, who I'm still not over, whose name totally doesn't rhyme with Mary, and the compassionate medic who looks out for me, whose name is Lex.
Hello. I am playing Vidar Izar, the Knight Errant. The Knight Errant once served a cause and now searches for one. Their powers come from their experience, their grit, and their renewed passion. Vidar is like of average height, kind of like look is like sunken face with arresting eyes. I think Vidar is like has like kind of like green skin, like short cropped hair, and like real blue eyes, kind of like almost gem like, I guess, like eyes to them. The wardrobe style is like pop-marked armor and a damaged Astra blade that still works. So I was once committed to a cause. I was part of an order of Novas before I lost a close comrade. I have a principle that I abide by, and one that I lost that's burning in a hole in my heart. The one I abide by is the duty to fight for the freedom of the oppressed, and the one that's burning a hole in my heart is courage in the face of adversity. I have two relationships. One is Inafin Sev, who is a compassionate ex who asked me to settle down. They are a troublemaker. They have the troublemaker and cunning trait. And then Delin Kowar, who is a zealous former comrade who has the desperate and ethereal trait.
I'm playing the Spy. The Spy is a skilled operator, highly committed but ruthless. Their power comes from their cunning, determination, and willingness to do whatever it takes. Her name is Val Iblis, she, her. She has an impassive face and watching eyes, often wearing a hooded cloak, and always has a concealable blaster on her. I have one principle I have broken is to allow harm by inaction is to be responsible for that harm yourself. And one I will not break is you must put yourself in harm's way if it means others won't have to. One thing that I sacrificed is the chance to live a different life. And one thing that I'm fighting for is the person that I could never be. The two relationships I have are with Desperate Contact that I wrote out information called Shan Herrick, and Talon Thane, which I share with Jade as my scheming superior officer.
I am playing the Leveraged, or the Leverage, depending on how you like to say it. The Leveraged is a non-believer compelled by circumstance. Their power comes from their outside perspective, their desperation, and their capacity to grow. My character's name is RKD3, though they go by Arcady. They, them pronouns. I'm going to say these next two, and then I'm going to clarify something. Their look is a guarded face and scarred hands. And their wardrobe style is a scarf that hides my face and an ill-fitting liberation uniform, in quote marks, because, as if the name didn't give it away, Arcady is a droid. Specifically, for anyone that would recognize, who knows much about droids, there is something of the RH series research droid. Some of the build is something more like a analysis droid. Yeah, you might have seen one. The SP4 ISC. This is mostly for Brian and anyone who does listen to this show, who is a big Star Wars fan. But, you know, big, round, little, almost like Wall-E-esque eyes, but mostly humanoided build. You're not going to mistake them for a human anytime soon, but they're about the height and vague shape from a distance of a humanoid. What someone is holding over me is connections that could keep me out of prison. And by prison, I mean being sent with a restraining bolt on back to somebody I really do not want to be in the clutches of. Two principles that challenge even my cynicism are the duty to protect those who risk their lives for me, and the children deserve a better world than I've ever had. My two relationships are the above-mentioned Talon Thane, a commanding liberation officer who is the one doing the leveraging, and RKTOS, my cautious and faithful partner in crime. For those who know Arcady in previous iterations, yes, RK2OS is exactly who you think it is. Because I know what I'm about.
Mm-hmm.
And he isn't here to tell me I'm not allowed to.
Listen, I used all of y'all's NPCs the last time I was on here, so.
All
All right.
Ask left and right, or do you want to do the Bond question for Sol first?
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'd like to do the Bond question first.
Please, go right ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So the Bond I've chosen is with Val. And I was thinking, if you're all right with it, Chia, the question is, how did your Bond earn your trust? And I was thinking, maybe you spared me when you could have killed me.
That's a good one. I like that. Yeah.
Because I know what I'm about as well. And then my question to ask up in the document, this is for Arcady. Why don't I trust you, and how did you take it when I told you?
I mean, you know I'm not here because I believe in the cause. I think it's probably not super common knowledge, but for somebody who's as embedded in the organization as Sol is, you know. And I think when you told me, I said, you know what, fair enough. All power to you. I wouldn't trust me either. Is like utterly unfazed by the fact that you don't.
Okay, cool.
And they don't dislike her because of it or anything like that. Just like, yeah, well, either eventually she will or she won't.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. All right, Vidar, what is one time that I saved your life?
You saved my life.
Yeah.
Okay, I read that wrong. I was preparing an entirely wrong answer because I can't read good. I think like coming into the coming into like whatever like loose group is going on here, right? What I think honestly it was just like a mission. It's very hard to keep somebody who is like willful and also just is generally hyper capable to like on mission. And so I think Vidar goes off mission on a regular basis. They keep him they keep him around because Vidar is like, you know, again, powerful and capable, but also is like not the most like goodest soldier. And I think I think I went like well off mission and was in over my head. And you came in kind of like guns blazing and were able to get me out of the out of the pickle I had put myself in.
Vidar's he, him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I believe it's my turn now.
Yes.
So, back at you, soul. What is it that you admire about me? I'm not vain.
That is a flirty ass tone for a he him to ask of Soul Hawk.
I think as frustrating as it can be to have to pull your ass out of the fire, I admire the fact that you've got guts. Like,
Cool.
it's not that Soul also has guts. I think it's one of those, hard-headed person recognizes hard-headed person.
Game recognized game.
Yeah. God damn it, Brian.
Me fucking with August in the notes so nobody on and let's see. Val, what did you do that inspired me to fight alongside you?
Ooh. There must be some mission where maybe I had like a choice between sort of a situation where you could get some like resources or something, and or maybe like putting some bystanders out of harm's way or something like that. To where like we really needed the resources and they may have even been the point of the mission, but I choose the other one instead, which is maybe not a thing that you would assume my type of character would do at first, right?
Okay.
Like something to that, and I'm trying to, yeah. Like I made the quote unquote right choice according to you in a situation where otherwise you wouldn't expect me to.
There we go. I summarized this. I'm just doing like quick summaries of what people say, so I can just keep the vague. So I wrote it down as picked people over the cause.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Sick.
Okay. Let's see. Is there? How have my unique connections or information been invaluable to you recently? I have
that for me, correct?
Yeah, I think I have a contact that I don't have a lot of specific thoughts on, but something that could be coming from them that could be useful to you, or so we could like kind of work on like what that character would be, even like more specifically.
Perhaps if we're doing like a person you get information and things from, right? Perhaps like your contact was like the damaged Astra Blade is what I have, right? Like maybe you like were capable, like previous to this I had just ditched it,
right?
Easier to go incognito when you don't have the fucking laser sword, right?
Right.
And however, now that I have shacked up with people doing missions, the laser sword useful.
Yeah,
hard
absolutely.
hard to discount the power of the laser sword, right?
Right.
And so maybe maybe it was that situation, like you helped me reacquire like an Astra Blade. No,
Right.
probably not my Astra Blade.
No,
right?
but Anne. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That sounds good. And then for Arcady, what lie did you catch me in? How did it make you feel?
Ooh.
It could have something to do with our connection, right? Something
Yeah.
about Talonthane that you suspect and or know, but I don't know that you know. Situation, something like that could be
Yeah. I dig
a way
that.
to take this. Perhaps something to do with the level of skin in the game, I guess, maybe between the commander. Could be something.
I suppose my question is because you're a spy, like
Mhm.
that is your whole thing.
Yeah.
Do I clock that you aren't being completely forthright with information you had? Like that you're do I notice a lie of omission in a report you've brought back, or information or something you've
Sure.
you've purposely kept out because you don't want this because you think he's a schemer.
Right.
So and like my whole thing is I'm like a research and an analysis, like a science droid. I am good at picking up details and small things and forensics. So
yeah, something.
I like that you, for whatever reason, and I don't think I know the reason, but you kept, there was a purposeful, and I could see where information had been removed. And I think I just liked you more as a result, because I'm just like, oh, okay, all right.
Arcady.
There's also that thought of, oh, you could be an ally then. Which makes the fact that I'm about to ask you this question very funny.
Okay.
Which is, how have you facilitated someone gaining leverage over me?
Well.
I mean, you are a spy.
Yeah, I am. I mean, I am a spy, right? As a droid, were you do you think you were originally part of the mandate, or were you just kind of a public servant situation? Like,
I was specifically made by people that should not have made me.
okay.
Like, it's very elite from Solo. Except like I was made by scientists.
I forgot. I was confused for a second because I forgot that droid's name was Lee. Like,
yeah,
Lee,
I know.
like
like lead speak. Yeah. I view the people that created me as like my parent. And it's possible they were mandate at one point. Or they made me to try and get out. And I was like their way out. But yeah, no. I do call them my parents, which probably throws people for a real loop. But their superior officer or their superior is who I do not want to be given back to. So the person who probably owns me. So maybe you were because that is a mandate person. So maybe you were investigating them.
Yeah, I think maybe the sort of vague.
I mean, you could clock where I was built. Like, you could have found records of.
Right, we know where that person is, and like because I'm keeping tabs on it, that means there's always that threat of like, well, we know where we can send you, or something. If that's the leverage you're trying
that's
to.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and then to Soul. How have I surprised you with my skills recently?
That's a good question. So you're like a research droid. How do you apply that towards the cause?
I think I'm really good at like sifting through information. I think like an intelligence analyst. Like
Mhm.
we hack into like communication lines, and I like break codes and like look for important information. I am also a robot who is big and strong. So occasionally I am probably asked to do stuff along those lines. But
Mhm.
I'm like, I suppose given your ex, you appreciate, like, I would probably be a first class droid if I wasn't here, you know? Like,
Mhm.
I am very good at what I do.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's because I clearly do not act like many droids you've met before. Like I'm a lot of the like research droids and analysis droids and even like protocol droids, like they're much more polite than Arcady is.
Mhm.
Like Arcady has a personality.
Yeah.
So it could be that rather than like the analysis skills, whichever's more interesting.
I think it's more interesting than, yeah, like for me to be impressed with or surprised with your people skills and just like the way that you integrate with people around you. I don't know if that really helps the trust situation
Oh
at
yeah,
all.
nah. No. Like I will absolutely like again, bringing the K. I'm gonna keep referencing actual Star Wars because Rogue One is one of the ones I really enjoy. It's very like K2SO. Like I feel like I have probably on somebody's instruction definitely done some violence that you were like, don't care for that, and I'm just deeply unimpressed.
Damn, that's a lot of violence.
Just unimpressed. I'm just like I've been told to come and do this. I do not fucking care if you are conscious while I do so. You
Mhm.
know?
Hell yeah.
Cool. To go off book a little bit, given that Sol has her bond, I was about to say with Cheer, no, with Val. Brian, do we want to establish any kind of vibe or a relationship question between Vidar and Arcady, just so there's something between every character?
Sure. I mean,
Everybody should have 3 questions.
I have one question. I have one question left, right? Like,
Yeah. Well, the question I didn't ask is why do you feel sympathy for me, which I don't care about necessarily. But if you prefer that to the last knight errant question,
well, my last one is why did I risk myself to protect you recently?
that is fun, especially
Yeah.
given the treatment of droids by by this particular order. Because droids aren't really people because they don't have the Force.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Things
Well,
that make Jade angry.
in
There's a reason I like
This is
Lead.
the
Just
new-
like, yeah.
New Jedi Academy, there's a droid. It's chock full of like a sentient force-tuned fungus, I think is how that one works.
Yeah, I did see one of the
So.
things I said. Just like, yeah, in theory, like, no, but I did like a droid that was filled with like its system had like blood in it from an organic person that could maybe interact with the Force. And I'm like, I hate that.
I love that. A force vampire.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's an interesting conception. I hate that that's the only way it had as a suggestion. Now, fungus sounds cool. But yeah, I like that as a question.
Okay. Well, why did I do so?
Man, maybe I was talking about my creators, and there's just something in a different way that I saw like, oh, this droid's a bit different to other droids. Like it's the way I talk about the fear that I have of going back to the woman who insists that I am her property, compared to the way I speak about my creators and how I miss them and I worry about them and I don't know where they are.
Nice. Okay. Nice. I like that.
So maybe it was just like, maybe something happened and they're like, look, we need a break. Why don't we just give this one back to the mandate? Like, we need something in this moment. Why not use them?
hmm
And you were like, what if we didn't?
Yeah, what if we didn't? What if I just I'm just like around? I'm just like, I like to see, like, I'm in the background. I'm not paying attention, or like it appears I'm not paying attention. Somebody brings this up, and I like walk up, and I just like, I'm like, waves hand. You're gonna take that suggestion back. They're like, I'm gonna take that suggestion back, and you're gonna go the fuck outside and not talk about this anymore. I'm gonna go the fuck outside and not talk about this anymore.
Yes, good. I love that. I love that a lot. Hell yeah. Pillars next, right?
Yep. So the first pillar in the book is the bond. Revolutions are built on trust. Relationships forged in struggle are how allies become comrades and rallies become rebellions. The liberation is full of people who care deeply for each other, but the bond represents the unshakable connection between people who have put their lives on the line for each other time and time again, and it demonstrates what is only possible when you trust in a comrade. When your trust in a comrade is unconditional. Lord. So this is something that Chia and I have to fill out. We have to choose two that the bond has, one that it does not, and one it wishes to have. And the choices that we have are intimacy, shared goals, honesty, guardianship, balance, simplicity, ideological unity, romance, family, debts forgiven, debts repaid, mutual understanding, and recognition of the self through the other. I like the idea that one of the things that the bond has is shared goals.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like that. I'm trying to decide if I put where to put honesty, given that I'm the spy. Because it feels like it could go in either wishes to have or doesn't, or just in the one that does not, but
I don't think that Soul would necessarily push for honesty, so I don't know that that's something that it wishes it had. Like, Soul recognizes, it's like, okay, you're a spy, you can't tell me shit, I get it.
Yeah. So that's the one that does not. That one seems easy.
Yeah.
How do you feel about debts repaid?
As things the bond has, or that it wishes it had?
That might make more sense as wishes.
Yeah.
If it's like the sparing your life could feel like a debt to you or not, something like that.
Yeah. No, I definitely feel that as something it wishes it has, because, like, Soul's not the type of person to really take carrying a debt very well. So I'm fine with that.
Nice. And then one more it does have, right?
Yes.
Does mutual understanding kind of make sense with honesty being the thing it's missing? I guess.
I can see that. Again, it's like, we know the roles that we play. So, like, you know, I understand you're not going to be able to be honest, and that's fine. And you understand that I'm not going to be able to pull my punches.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. That sounds good.
Alrighty.
Is that everything for the bond?
That is everything. We can talk about the pillar moves, if you like. And also this pillar gives the characters who are associated with the bond some special moves as well, but I don't want to just like read through everything. We can read through it when it comes up. But the pillar moves are: ask two bonded players what shared memory does this situation bring to mind and gain a token, or it can separate one bonded character from the other and give the isolated one a token.
The second pillar in going rogue is the Parliament. A revolution is nothing without its democracy. The Parliament represents a diverse range of forces, factions, and commitments joining together to try to negotiate their differences and devise a plan that they can all share. At its best, the Parliament is a comradely collective. Nope. The Parliament is a comradely collective. That's weird. Nope. I'm keeping it as collective. And an example of how a more just galaxy would be governed. Sadly, democracy is not without its discontents. Parliament is often slow to action, even when the situation calls for decisiveness. It can be conservative and conciliatory, aiming to keep the peace and avoid risk when only daring action can move the galaxy closer to freedom. At its worst, the Parliament is a wrench caught in the gears of liberation. And we need to choose 3 desires for the Parliament, and the listed options in the book are guaranteed victories, powerful allies, strength in numbers, safety from retribution for the innocent, popular support for the liberation, forces in reserve, peace through compromise, lengthy deliberation, ideological discourse, and a dream that never dies. I like safety from retribution for the innocent, and I feel that vibes with a couple of people's playbooks so far.
I think popular support for the liberation is a fun one to have in there because it can rub against like certain actions, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Ideological discourse seems like also a sort of logical.
We must have a great debate.
And the Parliament's moves are summon one or more people before a council and gain a token, reveal you have someone's loyalty or allegiance and gain a token, invite someone to deliberate, if they do, give them a token, and offer help and solidarity, but only with time. If they accept, you give them a token.
Do we want to copy the pillar moves over to the other sheet as well?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that if somebody else wants to read the intelligence.
I can do the intelligence. A revolution is nothing without its might. It is the liberation spies that enable its small fleet to succeed against a vast army. The intelligence is a clandestine network and messy hierarchy of burdened people who do whatever it takes to rid the galaxy of the mandate. At its best, the intelligence can turn guaranteed defeat into a galaxy-inspiring victory. Sadly, intelligence work is not without its inequities. It's possible to do great evils in pursuit of justice, and difficult to walk that line without treading over it. Those in liberation intelligence position themselves to avoid oversight and accountability whenever possible, and are not above hurting those with good intentions. At worst, the intelligence corrupts the ethical and democratic principles that distinguish the liberation from the mandate. And we're going to choose 3 desires from a chance to turn the tide of war, leverage over liberation members, the heads of mandate officials, classified intelligence, sabotage, reduced oversight, secrecy, willing sacrifices, to bear the heaviest burdens so others don't have to. We should probably put willing sacrifices in there, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
A chance to turn the tide of war is probably a solid combo with that.
Yeah.
I kind of like sabotage. Sabotage is fun.
Beastie Boys Intensifies.
No, this isn't Star Trek. This is Star Wars.
You telling me the Beastie Boys couldn't be there out in this in this galaxy far, far away?
Jizz music intensifies.
It's like now I'm just imagining it. Like there's this great fucking post on Tumblr about somebody talking about like how the shitty Taylor Swift XP in the Star Wars universe, and it's so good, and how she does like Empire propaganda like a Twi'lek pop star. It's very fun.
And the moves, just so we have them, take someone aside for a secret meeting and gain a token, reveal a previously unknown weakness and gain a token, apply leverage over someone and give them a token, offer and help solidarity but ask them to complete a task. If they accept the task, give them a token.
And I believe we have one more pillar, correct?
One we definitely need to have. If we want to, I think it might be worth putting the mandate and the liberation over just so they're there if we decide we want to pull on them. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, you can read this one, Brian.
Okay. The space between. The connections between people are what surround us and give us strength. The galaxy is never silent. It is alive and humming with energy that you can feel if you pay attention. When channeled correctly, the space between can turn dominions into empires and revolts into revolutions, but be careful, for concentrated power can be dangerous for anyone who dares come near. So, for the space between, we need to choose 2 desires: solidarity, difficult choices, balance, intense bonds, and uncontainable emotions, solitary training, enlightenment, revelation, unity with those who came before.
Are any of them particularly important for you?
Probably solidarity. Somebody else has a thing. Anyone else wants to get up into this force biz?
I think because solidarity is important, I think we should take solitary training off the table.
Yeah, probably.
I like intense bonds and uncontainable emotions personally.
Yeah, I was
yeah.
gonna.
Okay.
We're all
point
here
at
just
that
like,
one.
Sounds
what
good.
if we were messy bitches though?
Yeah.
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 Okay. And then the moves for the space between are invoke awe and gain a token, reveal an old secret or new truth to someone and give them a token, create an unexpected connection between people and give them a token.
Want to do the mandate, August?
Sure. The Mandate. Sometimes it feels like there's no escape from its gravity. The Mandate is an intergalactic superpower that uses its might to control the galaxy with fear, propaganda, and alienation. The only way the Mandate can perpetuate itself is with constant aggression, advancement of weaponry, and violence, and we know that it will eventually collapse under its own weight. However, until then, it continues to cause death and destruction across the galaxy. For the Mandate, we choose 2 desires: untold destruction, unquestioned supremacy, military expansion, an end to the Nova, hierarchy and order, dominion over the space between, and restoration of an old order. I feel like with the tone that we've been setting, unquestioned supremacy might be a good one.
Yeah, that was what I was about to say. Unquestioned supremacy feels right.
I also think kind of with the characters that we have, like a fun secondary one is hierarchy and order.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. And the moves foreshadow a larger threat and gain a token, put someone in immediate danger and give them a token, or intercept information or supplies and give a token to whom you've taken from.
Last pillar we're going to have available to us, I guess, is the liberation. There are many in the galaxy who are not willing to go down without a fight. The liberation are your comrades in arms, the people of the galaxy who are actively resisting and fighting back against the Mandate. No revolution is perfect. It is made of people who are prone to disagreement and distrust, but that, many say, is what separates them from the Mandate, working together towards a better future for the galaxy. And again, 2 desires. What we have listed to choose from are retaliatory violence, long-shot missions, hope renewed, military strategy, imagination of a better world, ideological discourse, and working together. Well, we already have ideological discourse for the Parliament, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe that one isn't on the table for the liberation.
I like imagination of a better world is a little cheesy, but given that hope is a thing that is meant to be sort of like that tension, I like it as a thing to have, even if our little crew of people, even if it's gotten very cynical over here, you know, like the liberation can still be hoping for something better.
Yeah.
Is that also hope renewed, or are those too close?
I can dig hope renewed. I also like, given that popular support for the liberation was one that we highlighted for the Parliament, I don't know whether like military strategy or even long shot missions.
Mhm.
Because then it's got that fun tension between safety for innocent people. So there's a
Mhm.
fun like because people want to see big wins. Like you want something dramatic and cool that people can point at and go, yeah. We're fighting back, and that can come with a lot of consequences.
True.
You guys don't want to just stack ideological discourses on top of each other?
Just so much ideological. This is how we know Brian's playing the Jedi. Sorry, a Nova. What if we talked about this some more?
I think long shot missions is fun.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And the Liberation's moves are complicate someone's vision of freedom and gain a token. Offer help and solidarity with or without a cost. If they accept, give them a token. Introduce dangerous plans and ask others to participate. If they do, give them a token. And ask, what does a better world look like to you? And give them a token if they answer. And we didn't read them out, but shout out, all of the pillars have got like tips on how to think about portraying this force within the or this element of the narrative, which is cool and handy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that is all our building steps.
I do believe so.
All right. Given how much time we have, do we want to like focus on like a couple of days, like within the like, is this a particular mission? Is this the aftermath of a particular mission? Like a real sort of slice of life,
Mm-hmm.
an episode of Andor, if you will.
I mean, I think that's interesting if we, like, what with part of Going Rogue's whole thing is, getting Death Starred or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I was going to ask if we wanted to talk about the fate.
Yeah.
If we're using that particular...
Because I know I think, what does it say? It's recommended you not begin play with a group fate in mind, but you can if you want.
Right.
Okay. Probably
We do love a group
not
fate. Conceptually, it's fun. Absolutely.
Mhm.
If you want to do the rocks fall, you win, but everybody does die. I mean, I'll pitch this. We could be dealing with the aftermath of a mission that just happened where everybody died. They did achieve the objective, but now we're here in like the immediate days afterwards. Does that sound interesting as a conceptually? I'm not going to be sad if people go,
I love Survivor's Guild.
Actually, that sounds pretty great. Actually, I like that.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
there's
totally.
kind of why none of us were on that particular mission. Maybe it wasn't expected that it was going to go wrong.
Right.
It shouldn't have been one where everybody died. Because that's fun.
I've got okay, here's the mission. We are
Our mission or the one that just happened?
Yeah. The one, so no, all right. So, music hit, impact font, Going Rogue, text scroll starts.
Hey!
In what should have been like a routine information gathering mission, like a small group of like forward operators for the Liberation stumbled upon a much bigger plan coming in from the Mandate. What should have just been a regular research facility held the key to a super weapon that the Mandate had been like dutifully creating in secret. This team pivots, is able to get the information about that out and possibly sabotage this facility, putting the plans backwards, maybe not taking the threat fully off the board. But in doing so, we're not able to, they did not survive the mission. And so that is where we are, we're coming in, possibly, like, there's a solid chance we were maybe also on that mission, right? Like, we were just a different strike team doing something else, and then everything, like, once this became known, everything got thrown into like thrown into chaos, and possibly like the other team ends up making the sacrifice play, sends out the information to it, and then just like detonates the facility, but there's no getting out of the facility to get the detonation going. And that's where we
What is it with you, Brian, blowing up facilities with people inside who can't get out in time?
I've only done it a few times.
Buddy, I've got a solid quarter's worth of nickels right now. No, I like that a lot. There is something very fun also, given the playbooks we all have, of if we were on the same planet, like investigating the same thing, and that desire, like, no, we have to go in and get them out. We can't leave them there, and that sort of tension, especially given the fact that we have a loyal and a knight errant as well. So is this like, do we want our first thing to be like the ship back to base? Because that's fun and deeply sad. We're setting the tone, guys. Everyone is angry, sad, or sad.
So you know the text crawl ends, and it's like the camera pan down to the ship, all other like first Star Wars, right? And then we go into it, and it's just this like dead silent, like you know, a light whirring and beeping.
The camera lingers on the empty seats.
Mm-hmm.
Who's piloting as we make our way back to base?
Not me.
So here's a potentially upsetting option. The pilot is actually one of the people who perished, and we had to figure out how to do autopilot to get us back home.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's. Do we think Arcady talks to the ship computer?
Yeah,
gets us going.
We're all looking at Arcady like, hey, you wanna.
I think it's just like, and like they'll connect up to the ship. I feel there's definitely like this awkward silence for the rest of you, while Arcady is having to explain to the ship that the pilot is dead, and we have to go back. No, we can't go get them. I wish we could go and you don't hear any of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But it just seems to be taking a really long time, which is not great for a number of reasons. Not including that we need to get off the planet. But eventually, like the engines fire, take off. And Arcadia is just like resolutely silent in the aftermath of that. Just like, I do not want to talk to anybody right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Val probably takes a seat, not in like kind of one of the upfront cockpit chairs, but like if there's like a separate seating area, like near the back of the ship or something, somewhere where she can see the rest of the room from. It just kind of sulks a bit.
The vibes rancid.
Rancid.
Mm-hmm.
Like narratively apt, but rancid.
Right.
So do we have are we the ones bringing the information back, or was that already transmitted through, is this like someone needed to hand something off in what's the word I'm looking for? Like low, small distance, like you couldn't, like didn't have the power to transmit situation, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like we have the information.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and that's probably why we couldn't go back to try to do an extraction, because, you know, we have the information.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe actually then Val might be looking over the information like on a terminal or something, or try to, like, if it's encoded or something, like try to crack that, like find a thing to distract her in this moment.
I think Vidar is sitting in the was effectively like the co-pilot seat, just kind of like staring directly into like hyperspace.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, is he meditating? What's going on with him? He's oddly stiller than the robot who doesn't want to talk to anyone.
Come on, Soul, flex those people skills.
I was about to say, is Soul gonna break this silence, or are we all completely dead silent all the way back?
God.
Soul's gonna bust out a hip flask
Okay.
Yeah.
and take a long swig from it, glance around. I think she offers it to Val.
I think without looking away from the terminal, Val grabs it, takes like a quick sip, and hands it back.
I want to impress upon you that this is possibly the most vile
Yeah,
liquor you have ever tasted.
I was literally about to say, this tastes like fucking motor grease.
Funny, I cut it with lighter fluid.
I guess. And then she like actually grabs it back, takes a longer swig. I guess a little bit. It's not really worth worth it. It's not gonna do the job. And then hands it back.
Vidar, your nightly duties say anything about partaking?
No, but they do require me to continue to have my eyesight.
Pussy.
If it's astringent enough, Arcady might find use of it.
Can a droid get drunk?
Only one way to find out. Offers the flask to Arcady, kind of sardonically, like.
I think there's like a whirring sound as one of their lenses sort of shifts to see and then just shifts back. It's like, I do not wish to corrode my circuitry.
Soul kind of shrugs, takes another sip.
Draws little X's on the back of Arcady's hands.
Mm.
Straight edge droid. I think after like another long long silence, Vidar is finally like, so what do we have?
Do we want to know the thing up front, or do we want to save that a little bit?
It's up to you.
Like, I think maybe part of it is the sort of thread this like leads us down. It's like I can't really make exact heads or tails of this. It feels like it's partial plans to something much larger, but I am not sure what it is. I can tell you if going off by what we have, whatever it is massive, something that only the mandate could undertake. Like no one else would have the resources.
Great. We'll add unknown superweapon to the list of other problems we'll have to deal with.
I have a guy I might be able to ask about what some of these pieces might be. I got a guy.
Oh, you're one of your myriad of guys.
I
As
think
the-
Soul's like. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna ask you as the loyal about making a move here, about getting this information either back to the Liberation or trying to figure out what it is on the way back. Like in do I send a like ping to my contacts now, or do we have show like the Liberation, like the actually I guess technically the Parliament first?
Yeah, should we check in before we
Mm-hmm.
do anything with this? Because presumably, like, do we have to still tell Parliament and Home Base what happened? Like,
Hey,
if we
mean-
could, if
Well,
we
I
could,
assume if we come back with half the mission, only half the
Yeah.
mission comes back, they're gonna
Yeah.
want an after-action report of some kind.
Yeah, we
I mean,
we haven't told them yet. I think is what we're
'cause I was gonna
landing
say,
on, right?
if we didn't have long-term communication to send the information,
Right.
then they probably don't know yet.
No, yeah. And it's like maybe that was like an on-planet thing, and now like that we're in space or in hyperspace or in the wind, as it were. Maybe we could now start to reach out, or even if he can't start to reach out, maybe just a distance thing. I could reach out to someone I know I could reach right now versus waiting until we're closer to home base, for example.
I think Soul's just like, I trust your judgment. If you think that this guy can help us.
He's got a lot of experience with various mechanical things. I think he can at least identify what this may be working towards.
And I think Valdar sort of like spins around in his chair to like look at everybody for like probably the first time, peeling out of his funk to be like, so we're going to take this highly secretive, crucial to our mission information and hand it to somebody whose whole job is selling things on the black market for profit, letting them know that we have this information that is almost certainly more valuable than anything anything they've ever been offered ever before. And while I am sure you trust them, and they have proven themselves trustworthy in the past, I don't think that we need to be naive enough to think that a life-changing thing falling into their lap could not possibly sway things one direction or the other. I'm gonna take a token, because I'm gonna call you guys naive. Tokens.
If our comrades thought this was important enough to sacrifice their lives over, I mean, there's some urgency in that, right? I think it behooves us to find out as quickly as possible what they thought was so important that they would put their lives on the line. I think at this point, even without waiting for any sort of response, Val turns to the terminal and like starts sending an encoded message to her contact. And I'm gonna take a token for put yourself in a compromising situation with no plan for backup.
Shake's head, turns back around to stare at hyperspace. So do we shift from the ship to like landing and coming off and needing to explain?
I like that.
To be continued.